Or hey, it's been a while since I've been out on the mountain bike. It's been a while since I've done like a bike YouTube thing actually. So anyway, I went to Devon a week or so ago and I had some amazing mountain bike rides, some gravel rides really I suppose, on the other bike. And just doing it straight from the doorstep and just like in the cities, woods and stuff like that around Plymouth. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, it's inspired me to see if I can get some off-road action straight from my doorstep, which is not very easy in Oxfordshire. There's just like bits of trails everywhere, but it's often really hard to join them up without loads of road. And anyway, so there's a few like disused gravel pits and stuff around here. I'm going to try and explore just a few of the trails straight off the doorstep, see how far I can get, see if I can get over to maybe the clumps without too much road, and yeah, let's see how we go. And if you like the video, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, it would be great, it'll make my day. Leave me a comment, I love getting comments and it's always like happy to get back to people. Really cool to chat to people out there. So yeah, let's get on the bike and let's go. So there's no way around the first bit of road from my house, so I've had to go maybe half a k just to find the first bridle trail that I can get on, but I'm on it. There's definitely going to be some getting lost today, or looking at the OS map, so you can probably see I've got it on the handlebar maybe. But yeah, look, gravel riding straight out the house. So yeah, a lot of these old gravel pits around here are kind of filled in, and fishermen kind of mainly use them now. Let's have a little boat on there. So yeah, these little gravel trails around the villages of Sutton Courtenay and the like, basically kind of all linked together. I'm not sure I should go down this footpath. I'm just going to have a little look to see what's down here. I suppose in some parts of the world you might call this single track. Look, I was thinking maybe I should have bought my gravel bike, but now I'm looking at this, it's a pretty muddy looking terrain, and yeah, for once I've chosen the right bicycle. Whether or not I can get through it or it's really rutted, I don't know. I'm just catching my pedals here and getting granny out on the bottom. It's all right, isn't it? Look, it's sort of wood chip. It's a bit boggy back there, but yeah, it's pretty decent. I'm probably still only a mile or so away from home. So technically it says footpath. I know it's not because the map says it ain't. Better mountain biker than me probably would just shimmy on down these steps here. I'm just gonna pop down. This is what I hope to pick up. It's a really narrow cycle path. It's all right this time of year when they've cut back the grass and stuff, but sometimes yeah, you can just end up in a massive nettle fest, and you know, you can't even get through almost sometimes. But it looks pretty decent at the moment, so we'll push on down here, and it takes us all the way to Long Whitnam, where hopefully we'll pick up another bridle back on the gravel. So this is, you see over in the background there maybe the Whitnam clumps. This comes sort of parallel to the village of Long Whitnam, and it follows the road, so you can yeah, pop out from one bit of bridle, cross the road, straight onto another bit, and this takes us kind of all the way across towards the end of the village. It's pretty nice, isn't it? So I'm going to try something a bit cheeky here, which is, I've noticed there's this little footpath. It's actually a road if you can see it. It's tarmacked, but it's kind of marked up as a footpath as well. And it should take me down, if I can get through, to the Thames Path. Now, there's a few things that say stuff like no unauthorised vehicles. I'm just wondering if I can get through. Am I a vehicle? I suppose technically I am a vehicle. But I think that's probably because this says it's a footpath, and I guess they don't want cars coming down here. So I'm going to take a chance on my bike. I might just get away with this one. And I think the bit of the Thames Path that this joins up with, you know, although it's a footpath and you're not supposed to cycle along it, there's absolutely tons of space on this bit, because it's kind of by the side of a field, or it's basically through a field, and so there's going to be no issues with bumping into anyone or anything like that. In fact, it's one of those sort of quiet sections of the Thames Path where you don't really see too many people anyway, because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So with all that in mind, I'm going to have a look down here and see if we can make our way off-road to the back of the Whittenham Clumps and pick up another bridal. As you can probably see, I stumbled across, you know, a two-tracked kind of highway really through the middle of this field. And I'm just going down it because one of the things that really bugs me about the UK, particularly kind of Oxfordshire around here, is how poor the access to the land is for people to kind of enjoy. And you know, particularly also, even when there are designated ways through, often they're not maintained, and it's a complete nightmare trying to actually get out and enjoy some parts of the place, because you find yourself kind of hacking your way through nettles and whatever. And yeah, I think personal view is that I wish the UK is a bit more progressive in granting access to the land and to the water for people to enjoy. And you know, it gets even worse with the water, doesn't it? Because there's all these lovely lakes and reservoirs and gravel pits and all that kind of stuff everywhere, which would be absolutely brilliant for people to use for swimming and paddleboarding, all that kind of stuff. And they're all kind of fenced off and basically impossible to get to, and nobody really makes anything of them. And so yeah, I find that really frustrating. Anyway, I can see a few cows here, so I'm going to see what we're going to do to see if we can get actually to the side of the Thames Path and check it back in a moment. So what I definitely don't want to do is upset any of these cows, so I'm going to do the right thing, get off the bike and just gently push it past them all. They're all looking at me like they're not very, very pleased to see me. I think when they wag their tails, it's not like a dog. I don't think they're kind of saying, hey, come and give me a pat on the back. Yeah, this one, I don't know, doesn't look too happy, does he? She. He. It is a little baby boy, that one. Yeah, so these are just grazing. So I know that would really annoy some people if I charge through here on my mountain bike. So hey ho, got the right shoes on, happy to walk. And you can see just down here we've got a Thames Path. It's going to be a bit bumpy, it's a bit rutted as well, kind of. Yeah, and you say it's a footpath, so hands up apologies for anybody that's going to tell me I shouldn't be down there all on my bike, but to be honest, what's the harm? It's all nice and dry at the moment. I'm not wrecking the path or anything with my bike, which I'd avoid doing this in the middle of winter because I could be churning it all up. I'm not going to upset the cows, I'm just going to walk along the side. Thought I'd stop and say hello to these fellas. If you've checked out any of my other videos, you might recognise this spot for our little paddleboarding adventure. This is where we pulled over and had a beer. It's a really nice little spot, and just thought I'd stop and show you whilst I'm just plugging away down the side here. You can see I'm sort of cycling along here pretty quiet. And I'm thinking, how great would this be if this was actually a cycle route, the whole length of the Thames? I mean, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? I mean, there's nothing, I don't think, in the UK that goes along the river as long as the Thames. There's a few bits and bobs, you know, canal side and a few rivers where there's a bit of cycle path or tow path, but nothing the full length. And how good would this be if you could go all the way to the sea on this, on your bike, like they do in some of the grand rivers on the continent, where they've got their act together and made them suitable for bikes. So that was really nice actually. It's a bit bumpy, there's a few gates, but happy days. So I've got to the lock here, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to probably kind of navigate my way through either the lock or a few gates anyway. So just hopped off. Going to try and get my way through this, and then back on the other side I'm pretty sure I'm going to find some bridle track again. I suppose I should get a bit of footage of this really, shouldn't I? Quite nice, even though I'm walking with my bike. Yeah, this is called Days Lock. Again, it's another really good spot for wild swimming, paddleboarding, that kind of stuff too. And what's also quite cool about it is you're back onto the kind of woodlands at the back of Whitnam Clumps, which is just over here in the background, and you can ride your bike from that point onwards. So here we pop out right away towards Shillingford Bridge. Gate to go through, but then in business. Look at this little hill. I'm looking in the woods here. I'm seeing the signs of a few tracks, possibly even tyre tracks. Makes me wonder if there's some more exploring to be done. Dare I say it, I actually found a hill, first one today, something to go down. Happy days. So here, you just pop out the end of that bridle trail and you popped out at the Shillingford Bridge. There's a whole load of lovely boats moored up, and there's a pub here where you can have a beer. To the map, this is a bridle way, but it looks like a bramble fest. So I'm going to give it a go anyway, because I quite fancy going this way, but I might have to hack my way through. And I'm thinking I'm just going to jump off for a sec and see if I can get through. I could probably cycle up here if I didn't mind getting stung with nettles, but I'm just going to push my bike through the nettles, trying to avoid the brambles, and then jump back on in a sec. Well, I could definitely cycle down it, but it's a bit too steep to get up it, so you'll see me pushing. I admit defeat. And you can see why, because look, I mean, it says bridle trail, so to me normally around here it's wide and kind of rideable, but this ain't. But then look, we're now in an open field, that definitely is rideable. Happy days. But annoyingly, he's ploughed straight over the bridle trail by the looks of it, so that's kind of annoying, hey? Another cycle track here. That pisses me off. I mean, okay, I know we can technically still ride a bike across it, but it's a bridle trail. Don't go bloody ploughing it up. We might even get downhill a little bit here. But look at this, down this nice gully. Look at that. Who'd have thought we were going to find this today? Get a proper downhill. So I'm winding my way back on the National Cycle Route number 5 now, and I'm just totally stoked. I reckon, I was just looking at the watch, I reckon I must have gone over 20k, mainly off-road, straight from my house today, just following all these little bridle tracks and a few little footpaths, and just following my nose and a bit of the OS maps to see what I could string together. And it just amazed me, you know. I've probably 75% of that I've never been on before, but you know, it goes to show there's adventure right on the doorstep. Just gotta go looking for it, and it's there to be found. And I've had a great afternoon. What I did forget was I was going to pass the pub on the way back. Well, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it?
Well, you're in the trail.
Doesn't get much better than this, is it? Look, this is a pint of Butts Brewery. That's something else on the glass. It's Butts Barbus Brewery. Butts Brewery Barbus. And something of crisps. Get the helmet off. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Catch you again out on the trail soon.